Hello everybody, I'm Yang. Welcome to our Tea House program. Today we will have a cup of tea with Teahouse16kttyvorisek, Executive Vice President of DHR International in Beijing. She will talk about executive search for companies in China. Hi Kitty, welcome to our program.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Teahouse16kttyvorisek serves as Executive Vice President of DHR International's Beijing office, which provides executive search services. With her experience in corporate social responsibility and sustainability, she'll also launch the non-profit practice for DHR International in the Asia-Pacific region. Vorisek has a track record in financial services with more than 25 years of work experience in China, Hungary, the Netherlands, Germany and the United States. As business manager at JP Morgan China, Vorisek worked on the strategic plan and foundation for a business, as well as corporate social responsibility models to support the brand. She implemented issue-driven programs with schools and non-profit organizations. In adherence to the Chinese government's priorities, she developed and executed programs with a provincial education bureau that introduced new teaching methods for rural teachers. She then replicated the model to use with migrant school teachers. Vorisek was nominated by the International School of Beijing for the Exemplary Contributor to Promoting International Education Award, which she received from the European Council of International Schools. She serves on the advisory board of Planet Finance and is an advisor to the Dandelion Middle School.
Well, I would like to make a cup of tea for you before we chat.
Great.
Do you like Chinese tea?
I love Chinese tea.
Today I'm going to make tie guanyin for you.
Okay, great.
Do you make tea back home like this?
I don't have all these different instruments and utensils that you have. I make mine much more simpler. So just with the teapot and the strainer and some hot water. I can see you have other ways you make it here.
Yeah, so I think you must learn about the name of these cups, right?
Please.
This is called gaiwar. And this is called gongdao bei. And this is called pinming bei. This is called wenxiang bei. You know, gongdao bei means fair. When I put tea in this cup and then put tea in this pinming bei, it can make sure that each pinming bei have the same amount of tea. Means fairness for each guest.
Interesting.
You can see the color of the tea.
Very nice.
We put the tea here, turn it down.
Oh, wonderful. Very nice. Very nice. It's a little tricky with 2 cups. I usually just have 1 cup.
Kitty, you helped to start the Beijing office of DHR, searching out executives for various kinds of companies in China. How big is the Chinese market at executive manager level?
China is a huge market. There are 6.6 million private companies here in China, and 435,000 of those are international or foreign companies. Of the 500, the Fortune 500 companies, 480 of those companies are here in China. So the executive level is very large and lots of opportunities. We opened the Beijing office in May of 2010 to complement our other offices here in China, in Shanghai, Taipei, and Hong Kong. The market is very active as well as expanding rapidly. So we have 11 offices across Asia, which are critical to support companies that are expanding in this area.
For which industries are the most difficult to find executives here in China?
I would not say that there's one industry that's more difficult than others. We have 17 practice areas across our company, and we recruit in all those practice areas. So whether it's life sciences, advanced technology, healthcare, retail, industrial, there's lots of opportunities for people in China today.
I know that China is not the first emerging market you have been working with, and you used to work at the city banks to help them to fulfill their ambitions. And how do you think China is different from other countries, such as Hungary?
You have in both countries individuals that are both bilingual and trilingual in terms of the languages that they've been taught or the languages that they've learned at the university, English being one of them in both countries. Another similarity would be that you have a highly technical population because the nature of the universities and the types of companies that are in both the countries. The third similarity would be you have a population that's very driven, that has a desire to succeed, that has high aspirations for their own work and their own life. Some of the differences would be obviously the size of China to Hungary, in China that there's a wonderful government plan that looks across all the different sectors and sets both strategic as well as tactical improvements and measures them every single year. That supports the way the companies grow, that supports a certain amount of stability within the country. Another difference would obviously be the culture of China and the great attributes within the culture and the foundation of the culture that helps the country move forward.
How many candidates you have found for your clients have the international background?
I would say most companies today are looking for candidates that either have very solid experience in China, either from a regional perspective or a national perspective across China, or also from a new definition in terms of Greater China, so the mainland, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. The other level of expertise would be that they've worked in China, but maybe another country within Asia Pacific or a Western country. So based upon the company and the type of position it is, the perspective that individual brings to the position in terms of China or Asia Pacific or China in a Western country gives them great perspective for that company.
Some people working in international companies have received their education back home, but they complain that they got a glass ceiling in development of their career because they don't have internationalized background. What do you think of this phenomenon?
I think that once someone has an education and begins to work, it's a matter of how do you take what you've learned within the university and apply it within a work environment. How do you demonstrate success that you bring to the company? How do you demonstrate that you're able to manage a team or achieve a certain project that needs to be done in a quality way on time? The need for perspective in terms of, do I get another degree? Do I get a different position and go outside of China will always give you some advantages as long as you have picked up the best skills that you have learned within that situation. So did you have a major achievement? Did you excel academically at what you did? Did you pick up extra skills? And then that makes you a broader individual or a broader manager.
Okay, thank you very much, Kitty. Let's have a rest and have a cup of tea, and then we will talk about what kind of executives Chinese market really need. Kitty, what is the typical process of an executive search in China?
At DHR International, we use 4 steps. The first step is that we work with the company to understand exactly the position they'd like to fill. What are the special skills? What's the special background or experience they'd like that person to have? The second is that we then go look for candidates in the market. So we look for individuals that fit the criteria that's been set by the company. We interview those individuals in the third step. So we look to how do we qualify candidates so then they can interview with the company in the fourth step. Once a candidate has been selected by the company, then we help the company and the candidate negotiate the offer. So it's a 4-step process for us.
Well, what kind of qualities and career experience are the most sought after when you find a candidate for the clients?
Critical skills would be in terms of if they're a manager, have they managed broadly across different teams? Have they managed broadly in terms of different geographies, so a province or all of the south part of China or all of China or all of Greater China? Have they managed different product sets? Have they managed different types of initiatives or special innovation or achievements? So that would be in terms of managerial skills. In terms of, are they good at collaborating? Are they good with their teams and their peers in a company to move that company forward? And experience is really critical. Companies like to talk to individuals that have not jumped from company to company every 2.5 years, but have really moved up and progressed within a company in terms of had 2 or 3 different jobs in the 10 years they've worked for that company. So it's a combination of skills and experience.
What case are you most proud of?
They've all been very special, but there's one that I would highlight. I put a candidate forward for a managing director to interview to add to their leadership team in China. After the interview, the managing director said the candidate's wonderful, but really for 2 reasons. One, because it shows me the developmental needs some of my other managers have, and second, because it really brings fresh blood into my team. And it makes me realize I have to continue to develop my people on my team as well as bring fresh blood. So I think it's healthy when a manager reflects on how do they improve their team as they bring a new member into it.
Let's have a rest and have a cup of tea. Then we will talk about how to get a job in China.
Thank you.
Okay, Kitty, welcome back to our Tea House program. You know, one of the functions of our program is to provide information for the international friends who want to work in China. So from a job hunter perspective, where they can find executive level job vacancies in China?
Well, the first place I would tell them to look is talk to your own boss at your own company, because there's a lot of expansion happening and individuals like to be able to move trained staff that already know the company culture and products to a new country. So ask the boss first. Then I would talk to the human resource director or the talent manager within that same company. The second would be network within your sector and within that specific type of work that you would like to do, so you can understand and meet other companies perhaps that are looking for individuals within China. Obviously, the internet is incredible today in terms of what you can find online. So setting up Google Alerts so that you get information about companies you might be interested in is helpful, as well as different kinds of networks that will provide information about openings or about companies doing expansion.
And in your daily work life, and do you contact the candidates directly or they contact you directly first?
At DHR International, we focus on assignments from the company. So we are retained by the company for a specific position. So we look for candidates in the open market, but we don't reach out to candidates to call us in reference to looking for a job.